that helped me to be what I ended up being, and those types of things, being able to stand on those types of things is really an honor. I mean, one of the things I want to mention to you all tonight is, if anybody's played football, you know you watch film, you go out, you practice, you play a game, but you come in and you watch the film. And a lot of times, sometimes you didn't want to really watch the film if you made a mistake. If you did something well, you probably felt okay about watching. You weren't too worried about what the coach was going to tell you. But what the film represented to me was a chance to reflect. It was a reflection time. I reflected on what I did well, what I didn't do well, my techniques, what some of the other guys were doing, what they were not doing. But it was an opportunity to actually learn about the game and also be able to develop. One of the things that I used in some of those techniques was a visualization process that I got into, and I was taught this visualization process by Ian Emery. And it helped me later, especially later in my career. Early in my career, you kind of feel like you kind of know it, and you got it. But later in my career, I really had a chance to really use that technique to enhance what I was doing. But the film was a review. The film was something that helped us to understand what we did and what we did not do. It was an experience to help us to learn and to grow and to develop in different ways. Now, what I was able to do is take that and apply it to my life too. On daily experiences, sometimes when some things go right, sometimes they don't go right. If you have some time to sit back at home and reflect on some of the things that have happened, you're actually able, because, as we know, life is a cycle. Experiences go around, they come back around. And we have an opportunity to, with the power of reflection, to be able to learn ourselves, to understand ourselves, to put ourselves in a better position and to grow. One of the things that I use as a continued growth element is what I call the power of the breath. Being able to take deep, slow breaths and release them slowly helps to get you in a state of what we call balance. One of my mentors used to call get into the balance, Ernest. And what a lot of people call it in football is the zone. It's being able to get in the zone and be able to play, and everything almost slows down. What I'd like to try tonight is an exercise, just a basic exercise on taking a deep breath, holding it in, and then slowly releasing it. So on the count of 3, if you'll do this for me, 1, not yet. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, I would like you to take a breath, hold it, and slowly release it. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Release. 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. Release. What you ought to feel is it's a different, just a little bit of a difference. More settled. A little bit more clear. Your mind might be a little bit more clear. If there's something that's concerning you, something that's worrying you, they used to always say to count to 10. We always say take 10 breaths. And before we react to anything that could be negative or that has the possibility to threaten our balance, try to take a breath. And I call it, it's a balance, composure, equanimity is the word for it. It gave me the ability, and when I played, to stay balanced, to stay in that zone. Believe it or not, I had a temper when I was young. I used to fight a lot. Anybody did anything remotely close to offending me, I'm snapping. I was snapping. Anybody try to talk to my girlfriend? They would get me. But as I aged, and when I was taught this breathing technique, and there's a lot more to it. I'm giving some stuff that, I mean, y'all probably already know a lot of this. But I'm giving some stuff that has taken me years to mature into. But it gave me the ability to go out and play the game in a way where I could play on the edge, but I also was able to stay balanced. It gave me that state of being in the zone. So when I was with the Redskins, and I went on that tear of 6-7 games, 100 yards of rushing, back to back to back to back, that was some of the stuff that I was doing. It helped me to play another 4 or 5 years when my career probably should have been over after my 10th year in the league. Because it gave me the ability to heal myself as well. It gave me the ability to use whatever energy was out there. Whether I was angry, whether I was a little bit disappointed, or whether I got too high over a play. It brought me back to that state of balance. And if I got injured, I was able to take the pain and use it to focus and go make the plays that I need to make. So it gave me an opportunity to extend my career. Being able to get into that state of balance. Purpose. I was just talking to my daughter this morning. Kevin heard me. I was talking to my daughter this morning. I went to job first, and I thought about purpose. Each experience, each time she goes out to practice, each time I went out to practice, I had something that I was working on. It was something that gave me some energy to go and make what I needed to make happen. I wanted to get better every day. It wasn't going to be good enough for me to go out there and just get through practice. And as I taught the guys that I ended up teaching, Maurice Jones-Drew, Chris Johnson, Doug Martin, all of these guys, never would let them rest. I said, if you want to rest, go home and take a nap. But while we are here, we're going to do whatever we need to do to try to grow. So, but I had, and I always tried to give them a purpose. What are you trying to achieve today? Why are you going out here today? Why are you going to practice today? Why are you in this meeting today? Right now. Why? Why are you going to lift those weights? It's a purpose. So I talked to my daughter. She called me later. I should have texted her right away. I'm not there, John. But she called me a little bit later and told me that she had just went to a 3-hour practice. She's at UC, University of Cincinnati, playing ladies lacrosse. Earned a scholarship. So proud of her. So she called me and she was talking about the practice and some of the things that have happened. And I said, baby, I thought about you this morning. And I should have called you. But what I want you to understand is, baby, you got to get everybody on that team as best you can to understand they need a purpose when they're going out there on the field. Just don't go out there just to practice. Just don't go to the meetings just to go to the meetings. Just because we got to go to the meeting, let's go to the meeting. No. What are you trying to do? What's your thought process? What are you trying to achieve overall? If it's a workout, why are you working out? Why are you going out on your walk? Why? I mean, it's a purpose. One of the things that we know in life, and I know everybody here knows this, but the constant in life is change. We all know that. That's one constant. It's going to change. Something's going to change. This napkin is not going to be a napkin forever. This table is not going to be a table forever. This body is not going to be this body forever. It's in a state of change. Even the things that we look at that look solid, they're all in a state of change. So we need to understand and be able to feel this and understand that we need to constantly adjust and change as well. When you look at the National Football League, you know, you see guys come in and out. It's a constant turnover. Look at the little kids. Think about them being adults. Look at the little leaguers over there playing. Eventually, they're going to be up here in the pros. Constant state of change. Having purpose. Being able to understand that. Having the breath. Being able to understand that you can use the breath to do what you want to do. Be able to tell somebody else. Be able to help somebody else. The experiences that we are given are not just for us, in my opinion. Our experiences, we have to go through them. We should learn. We should change and grow. And then we should also teach. Because there's a greater responsibility from the ones that are back there now that's going to be out here eventually. We have a responsibility to do that. It's a blessing. I believe it within my heart. This book talks about it a lot. A lot of the stuff that I'm talking about in here, I'm not trying to sell it right now. Some people bought it already, but in reality, that's a lot of what's in this book is about that. Learning, experience first, learning, growing, teaching, all with equanimity, balance, the zone, being able to get into that, teach that. Can you hold this? Teach that. And I think we're going to open up for questions, and hopefully I got the answer. I don't know, maybe I will.
Coaches and characters while you play.
Coaches?
Coaches and characters. Can you talk about some coaches and some characters?
Okay. Well, they mentioned Bill Belichick earlier. And to be honest with you, turn that thing off. We ain't going to let that.